There's some nice cherry tomatoes here. We have beans growing with some very big pots. Once again, I welcome you to our homesteading channel. So every 2 weeks I'll be giving you a garden update. Like today, you can see I'm enjoying some yummy cherry tomatoes. Forgive me, I'm just enjoying, so that you know what is happening here. Our cherry tomatoes are overgrowing, they are fruiting, as you can see down here, and they are quite yummy. Beans is growing. This bean plant has actually overgrown. It's grown beyond our expectation, but as you can see, we have some very nice pods here. So this bed actually has beans, and there's a cherry tomato plant. The cherry tomato, we didn't plant it, it just grew on its own. Here we planted lucerne. This is our first time we're planting this grass. It's mainly for us to be able to feed our rabbits. So we have lucerne in this bed, we have lucerne in that bed. That bed has lucerne and cherry tomatoes again. Mind you, any tomato plant you see in this garden, we didn't plant it intentionally. It just grew from the seeds from last season. In this bed we had planted beans, but we ended up with tomatoes. Again, it's another overgrown plant. This year I really didn't give much time to the tomatoes, pruning them, and the guy who is taking care of our. So again, I was saying, in this bed we only planted beans, which are these 2 plants here and the other ones over here. The potatoes, you can see there are potatoes here. We really didn't plant these, they just grew on their own from last season potatoes, but I don't even remember us having potatoes in this bed, so I'm not sure how it came to be there. But the tomatoes, as you can see, is fruiting. There's some nice big tomatoes. Unfortunately, because it wasn't pruned, it is overgrown and it's becoming difficult to manage, but it has some nice fruits down there. As you can see, these are big tomatoes. This is it's regrowing from last season tomato. For the past 3 seasons we haven't been really planting tomatoes, like intentionally growing tomatoes. They've just been growing from the seeds from the previous season. So this tomato is a result of that, but I love the way it's fruiting, although we could have done much better by making sure we prune it. The fruits are really coming and I love it. So when we saw it growing, just said let's keep it as it is and see what is happening. This bed, strawberries, but the strawberries mixed together with potatoes. What a combination, because we want to keep strawberries for another season. At the same time, we want to remove the potatoes. So after we planted potatoes, we realized that later on we had left some potatoes in the ground, and they started sprouting, and then we just let them grow. The strawberries are actually yummy. Just let them grow, and I think we'll figure out how to harvest them. Once we harvest them, if any strawberries are affected, we will replant them. But once they started growing, we couldn't remove them. It looks like someone was here earlier on to harvest the strawberries. I don't have any here. Yeah, that's the sound of a homestead. I'm in the garden, but you can hear the cock on the other side. There it goes. Wow. So when you stay at the homestead, you really start enjoying that sound. I like the sound of cocks when they crow, and also the sound of the pigeons. They are quiet at the moment, but I think I will just go to them today again so that I can show you what is happening with our pigeons. So these potatoes are flowering, so very soon I think they will be ready for us to be able to harvest them. Down here again we have a lot of potatoes. I tell you, we didn't grow this. We have an onion there. This was not planted intentionally. Let me remove this onion. It looks like it's even overgrown. It's now ready for harvesting. What? That's the good thing about having a homestead and a garden. You just get onions, which I didn't even plant. I don't know how they got there, but they're here now. We eat them. So the potatoes, they ended up being the main crop here and taking over the whole bed. This is a wild veggie. We call it omboa here. I think the ones in Zimbabwe, they call it nyeve. I don't even know the English name for it, but it's a veggie which is a bit bitter. So when you cook it, you boil it several times, you throw away the water before you eat it. So yeah, those who know its English name, please let me know. But in Shwambo it's omboa, or they call it what, wild spinach, and in Zimbabwe I know in Shona they call it nyeve. Here's another potato. This needs water. So that's what we have here. This bed, it has some green peppers. They're still small. We planted these. I still see it's a little bit empty, and grass is growing, patches of grass. We have to fill in the gaps. Here we have a corn. It's quite young. This is more corn which we planted, I think, a few weeks ago. Some leafy veggies. I think this is lettuce. It's overgrown, but I love the color. We don't eat much anymore because one of the favorite veggie around this house is the wild spinach I've been showing you. So that's what we've been eating a lot. So this omboa nyeve is quite popular here, this house, so we eat that a lot these days. That's why we ended up having this overgrowing and flowering. So we're just keeping it for now. I think we will have to remove it later and put something else. This sweet potato here just sprouted from I think we dug potatoes here sometime last year. So later this year we just saw it sprouting, and then we just kept it. So are the cherry tomatoes here. These we didn't plant. That's just coming from last season. Tomatoes. These are quite cherry. These are quite small. Sorry. Let me taste it. Yummy. We don't really spray our garden here. That's why you can see I can pick and throw in the mouth already without having to wash. Others will be worried, why is this guy not washing the tomatoes? This one is another tomato plant. The fruits are growing quite well. Again, not pruned. I wish I had taken a video of the potatoes we had last season. I was so eager to prune them, and they grew quite well. They had a lot of space, and they were quite yummy. Another cherry tomato there. We have thyme over here. Our apple trees here with the groundnuts around it. The groundnuts are already flowering. I don't know how we are going to take the groundnuts off the ground without affecting that. A sweet potato growing there. We didn't grow this. Of course, yeah, the onions, we are the ones who put there. Here we have cucumber. I've been harvesting cucumbers from this place of late, but I see it's starting to die off. Some of the leaves are becoming gray. I think it means that there is an overgrowing cucumber under here. Okay, I will take this one out. Ooh, I love it. I'll take this one and I'll get the cherry tomatoes. That will be a yummy salad for me. So let me put it here. I need somewhere to put these things. And here's another cucumber. I'll take this one. Be small, yummy and tender. So I'm harvesting a few stuff here for my salad. This is going to be yummy, I tell you. I thought there was lettuce somewhere here. This is some lettuce leaves. I'll just So this is my cucumber and onion harvest, all coming from this plant here. There are lots of cucumbers still under. I will have to come back and harvest them. Again, potatoes. This potato we didn't plant it. So is that other potato there? I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me try to zoom in. Yes, there it is. It's just before the onions here. It's a potato plant. We didn't plant that. Now, some onions here. I think you remember a few days ago, I think 2 weeks ago, I made a video when it was raining. I was planting these tomatoes. It looks like they are all doing well. They are called shallots. We really like them. We enjoy the cooking the leaves. They don't grow bulbs like the ones I just harvested now. So these ones I like them so much, especially in my breakfast with tomatoes. Of course, helps you. I think this is coriander. Is it coriander? Yes, sir. Okay, I'll call it coriander for now, whatever it is. Or parsley, coriander or parsley. I don't know. My wife would know. She's the one who planted this. And unfortunately, I don't see any tag here to show what this really is. But I think parsley. Coriander usually grows bigger. This plant, if I tell you I know what it is, I will be lying. It just started growing here and it was growing huge. He said, no, let's not remove it. I think it's a weed. Let's not remove it. Let it just grow. What we just do now, we see it's flowering. It's quite huge. We will cut it off, and then after we cut it, we can put it in the compost. I see the cherry tomato found a place to really grow. You see, there's a cherry tomato under here. It's growing on this plant. I don't know what the plant is, but I'll just keep it for now. So back to harvesting. Now I have cucumbers. I have a little bit of lettuce. I have onions. I think I can add to these some cherry tomatoes. That will be good for me to have a nice salad. Let me see if I can zoom in. Ooh, I love this background. The flowers are looking really great. But I'll get some cherry tomatoes here. And again, in this bed there is lucerne. This is the first time we're growing this grass. We just want to give it to our rabbits. I hope they will enjoy it. I have to learn a little bit more about lucerne, how to take care of it, when to harvest it, how to harvest it. But I think it's a grass which you can continuously cut and feed to the animals. I'm not too sure about that. I wouldn't want to lie to you. So now let me get some cherry tomatoes. one here, you have to. So fresh. It's a little bit tough to harvest these without trellising them. So that's the price we pay for being lazy. We were supposed to trellis this plant so it becomes easier for us to access the fruit. We were lazy, we pay the price. Okay, I got a few from here. I'll check the other plant, the other cherry, the other cherry, and the other cherry, and this one, to see how much cherry tomatoes I'm going to get from there. So we move. I hope you can see here. Do we have any tomatoes? This one? Oh, looks like someone was here before and harvested some of the tomatoes. And this is even harder to harvest because of the bean plant. But look at that. Look at that cherry tomato. But here at least we tried to do something. We had put a metal cage around. I think you can see the frame there, so that we can be able to keep the bean plant away. But still, there is a tomato in here. How do I get it? Here it is. You see how difficult it is to harvest. Here's another one. So this is the kind of trouble we put ourselves by being lazy. It's not like this plant started this big. They were small plants, but we were lazy. Now everything is together. There's a cherry there, there's a bean here. So really it becomes very difficult to harvest, but I think I will continue using this space here to gain access to these tomatoes. So again, what do we have now? We have cucumbers, onions, we have cherry tomatoes. I've seen a bigger tomato here, but it's not yet red. Maybe I can leave it for tomorrow. I will get a yummy salad made some other day. Yeah, it's not red, and there's another one in there. I have to put some more trees like this one here to lift off the plant from the ground and allow me to have access to some of these tomatoes which are hanging down there. Ooh, there's something which looks like a live tomato in here. This was going to get bad without having access to it. Okay, so while I'm here, let me just try to get something. Anyway, again, laziness. So we continue. I need color in this salad. As much as I have purple onions, I need color. And I have some lettuce. That should be enough. The last time I ate this, it was bitter. I didn't enjoy it at all. But it's looking colorful. We have green, we have purple, we have red, we have cucumbers. What else do we need? Tomatoes, we have enough. I'm not going to put time in this. Here are some cherry tomatoes. I'll just get 1 or 2 from here. This. Beautiful, right? Beautiful, right? So these vines were just letting them grow wild. Oh, it's not like we want them wild. It's because we have been too lazy. We never got the opportunity to come into the garden and prune and try to put some support structures for it. Now we pay. Herbs. What is this? Oh. Good smell, I tell you. So, yep, I have managed to harvest a few things for a salad. I will take this to the house. So the past few minutes, this is what I got from the garden. And I'll make a salad out of this. I tell you, I'm going to enjoy it. Now I'll take you for a tour of the field and just show you what is happening. One thing I'm not proud of at the moment in the garden is that it is really overgrowing. The amount of weed which is there is a lot. Unfortunately, today people are busy with the chickens. Tomorrow it's a public holiday. We will need some time to rest, but maybe in the morning we will come and do a bit of weeding. I was telling you before that the most popular veggie around here, it's a wild veggie, omboha nyeve. Here it is. Oh, this is nyeve. So between the nyeve here, we have put some some potatoes. They are starting to sprout now. I hope you can see. Where is it? Here. Let me try to zoom in on it. Yeah, this is the sprouting potato. Oh, here is another one coming out. We have to water this, I think, today. Quite dry. Oh, here is. No, this is what? That's not groundnut, that's a weed. I will remove it, but there is another sprouting potato plant. So, in this part of the field, what you see green there is the wild spinach, nyeve, omboha, the bitter one. Next to it, that's a line of green pepper. We have something again here. This is we call it nyimo in Zimbabwe, or efukwa, or round nuts. So this is round nuts here. You can see, I think 1, 2, this line here, this one here, this one here, this one here, that one there, that one. This is all round nuts. I'm surprised they sprouted. We bought them from a local market, and our fear was they were boiled and then dried. And to my surprise, they all sprouted. Wow, this is good. This is good. I love it. So yeah, we have round nuts all the way up to here. From here we have some overgrowing grass and groundnuts. Some of them did not come out, so they are patches, but as you can see, these are groundnuts, the ones along drip line. Groundnuts all the way up to the top. The next line is groundnuts. So the other one, there are some cucumbers overgrowing there, encroaching into the groundnut somewhere there. Those are cucumbers. We have to maybe put a trellis so that they can grow up instead of them growing like that. I've just seen some trellises in the other garden. I think I'll instruct the guy who assists us here to come and put them there, and then the cucumbers can grow there and it will be easier for us to harvest. So that is what we have here: cucumbers, groundnuts, round nuts, green pepper, potatoes which are still sprouting, the wild veggie. I will look for the name of this veggie. And then here we have maize, still small. We didn't plant early this season. Last season we tried to plant soon after winter, but we realized that rains took long and the amount of water we needed to be watering the maize for it to grow well was quite a lot, and it ended up getting stunted because the demand for water was quite high. So this season we waited a little bit for the rains to come first, and then we planted. And if you look at the maize we have here and what our neighbors are having, I wish you could see that far. Yeah, that is maize. It's quite big now, flowering. They planted soon after winter, so it looks like we haven't mastered the game of predicting weather and knowing timing when to plant certain crops in our field. What you see there is sweet potato. This sweet potato is saying it requires water. You can see it's crying for water. It's crying for water. We planted it last year. Winter came. I can't say it died, but it went dormant and now started sprouting. But I can still see that we have to fix the ridges, put more water. Here we have maize again, and this here, which is covered by weed, I think it's called, in Oshwambo they call it Enwenge, in Shona it's called Ipka. It's a sweet cane, but it's not sugar cane. It's a sweet cane, like, I don't know the English name. If you guys know what it is, please educate me. I would like to learn, but the sweet cane, that's what we have here. The quite small one, most of it is under grass. And then we have maize again. Looks like it needs a lot of water. It hasn't rained in about a week now, and the grass needs to be weeded. We will do that as well. Here we have cowpeas. Most of it is, we have been eating it already. So this is cowpeas here. I will be coming later to harvest it so that we can boil some. This we mostly boil and eat it while it's still fresh. So I think this is drying up, the fresh one and the dry one. We will come and harvest it today. It's not a lot because we've been eating it fresh. Whenever we have pods like this, we come and harvest them, boil them, and we enjoy them while they're still fresh. So I think today we have a few pods which are growing here. There are some. Over there are some. So we will come and harvest this later on. Over there's some, the purple looking one. So this is all cowpeas. We will be harvesting this today. I will show you once it's cooked. So this is what we have in this section of the field. Just to give you the perspective, I started in that shade net where I harvested the cucumber, cherry tomatoes and stuff. And then I went to this field where I was showing you the wild veggie, the maize, the groundnuts, the round nuts. And then I came over there where we have sweet potatoes, and next to the sweet potatoes, the sweet cane. And now we are here where we have maize and beans. The shade netting you're seeing there is not in my plot, it's in my neighbor's plot. So from here I'm going to that shade net there where there is a tank. That's where we have some of the plants which I just want to update you on the progress. Okay, this is the other shade net I was talking about. Again, we have sweet potato here with weeds overgrowing. And the reason why this weed is overgrowing is because my wife likes it. So she instructs the guy who helps us here, don't remove my omboa, my vegetables, which is what I'm calling the weed, this thing here, because she wants to harvest it and dry it so that we can eat it in winter. And the problem is it's competing with sweet potatoes. Looks like this cannot grow in the same place together. It looks like they are not complementary plants, they're actually competing. So that's the kind of dilemma we have here. So if you see it overgrown like this, it's because there is what do I call it? The interests are different. I want the sweet potatoes to grow, she wants to harvest the vegetables. How do we strike a balance? So at the moment we just let it grow a little bit. If we harvest what she wants, dry it, and then from there we completely remove it and just leave the sweet potatoes. So we have sweet potatoes here, we have corn growing here, a few lines of corn. One thing which surprised me today is in winter a neighbor of ours was pruning mulberry trees, and we asked him to give us the I don't know what to call them, the branches he was cutting off. And we took those branches, we came and we put them in these black plastics. So for a long time, I think that was in June, July, August, September, October, November, now we're in December. I thought these things were dead, but we just left them there. They looked dry. To my surprise today, when I come here, they are sprouting, all sprouting. Some of them even have fruits. I hope you can see the fruit here, and I'm wondering what is happening here. So yeah, I was surprised today to see that this mulberry are sprouting, and some with even fruits. I don't know how this plant does it. I hope I'll be able to zoom into this. It's a small sprout, but it has fruits with it already. I hope you can see them somewhere. Where is it? Somewhere here. Here. They are fruits. What? This is amazing. So I love it. So we have 10 potentially mulberry plants here sprouting. It means we are going to expand our food forest. We are going to expand it. Yep, of course. So we have maize here, we have trees. I think this is Musau. I don't know what's the English name of it, but it's the same tree we grew here from seed. Some of them are sprouting. You see, this one is out. This one is out. This one is out. I saw 3 of them sprouting. This one as well. This is a weed. I can remove this. This is Musau. Do you know the English name of that tree? This one here, it's a wild tree which grows in Zimbabwe, but I just brought it here and it looks like it's thriving quite well, because this was planted less than a year ago. Now it's close to 2 meters tall. It's taller than me. I'm 1.75 meters. Maybe it's 1.8 to 2 meters already within a year. So these trees really grow quite fast. If you compare it to the guava trees, which have been here for 2 years and they've been dying every winter and trying to rejuvenate in spring, they haven't really gone anywhere. So we have maize here. This one was planted a little bit earlier. It was just this one, and the other one is starting to have babies now. This and that other one there were just 2 of them. That big plant here is maize. We have pumpkin. It is overgrown. It has taken over all this place, such that it's covering some of the groundnuts we have here. These groundnuts are really doing fine. I can see the soil is starting to crack. They flowered already, so it could mean some of them are getting ready very soon for harvesting. The ones in this line, they are not growing well. I think it's because of the pumpkin, which is, oh, you can see the leaves are droopy now. It's quite a little bit hot and humid today. That's why they are droopy like that. But these pumpkin leaves, we eat them a lot. In Zimbabwe, it's called mubora. It's a nice vegetable. You just cut the leaves, you remove the fibrous tissue which covers the stalk and part of the undersurface of the leaf, and then you can boil it. You can add cream to it. There are so many ways of cooking it. You can even use peanut butter to cook it, and we really, it's a nice vegetable. I love it. My wife now knows how to cook it very well, and we have been enjoying the leaves while we wait for the pumpkins really to grow. Here again we have pumpkins all this way. The leaves again, they are droopy because of the heat. This spinach is the spinach we have been harvesting and drying of late. If you follow our channel, you could have seen some of the videos where we were cutting spinach into chunks, boiling it, and then drying it. So you can see it's quite old now. I think this next week or next 2 weeks we will just harvest all of it, dry what we can, and then see if you can put something here before the end of the year. Again, here we have maize here, maize and watermelons. They are interplanted here. Here we have a vegetable, it's kovo. We grew this from offshoots. What are they called? We call it masakatire and shona, but they are offshoots. And now it looks like it's doing well. We just have to come and add manure. As you can see, we didn't put manure when we planted it because we were afraid that it would get rotten. So we just planted it in these sandy soils. Now that it has sprouted and is doing well, we will come and add manure to it so that it starts growing greener and we can start harvesting it soon. These are the only tomatoes we planted this year. We have this, like with this line here, and this one here, and this one here. Those are the only tomatoes we planted this year. Last year we had a lot of tomatoes. Even the way where I was showing you where we have maize outside the shade net, we had tomatoes there. But this year we said let's reduce on tomatoes. They gave us a lot of problems. They were having this rot thing. I'm not sure what it's called. Where it's called rot. It becomes black on the undersurface of the tomato plant, and you basically had to throw away half of it and maybe keep half of it if you want to dry it or something, or you want to can it and we thought, no, this time around let's reduce the amount of tomatoes we are going to plant. If these are not enough for the family, we have some neighbors here who have planted a lot of tomatoes. We could get them at a cheaper price. Most of the time we actually give each other. When you have a lot of a plant of a crop, you can actually give to your neighbors if they don't have much of it. So this whole place, initially it was an orchard. We have quite a number of trees here. As you can see, there's an apple tree here, there's a grapevine here, there's another vine here, there is a vine there, there is a vine there, there is a vine here, there's a vine behind it, there is that musao tree I showed you, there's a guava tree somewhere here, another guava tree here, there are some lemon trees. So they were not really growing quite well. And then here we have an apple. This is a grafted Wambugu apple tree. So they were not really growing well, these trees, because when it gets hot, it really gets hot, and when it gets cold, it's very cold. So they were not growing well. That's why we ended up putting a shade net, so that at least when it's very hot, they are shielded from the sun, and when the winter comes, they are shielded from the wind, which gives which is usually cold and leads to these plants dying. This is an apple tree here. They are quite small. These are Wambugu apple trees. And then there is a lemon tree here. These lemons, I'm contemplating replacing these lemons. Yes, you can see this lemon was grown to about 1 meter last year, and then when winter came, even we had covered it with blankets, it went down to the ground. Now it's starting to sprout again. Back to the tomatoes. They are starting to have fruits here. They are having fruits. So these are the tomatoes we planted. The ones in the other garden, really we didn't plant them. Those just grew from the offshoots from last season. So most of these planted potatoes, we are not doing this for sale. Most of the crop we have here is just for consumption as a family. Here again we have corn, which was recently grown. It's just coming out now. As you can see, can you? I hope you can. Yeah, that's corn coming out. That's another lemon tree which is trying to come back to life. So is that one. So is this one. And they are struggling. They are really struggling. And then there's another lemon tree here, struggling, and another one there. If you compare these lemon trees to that, if you compare these lemon trees to that apple there, you can see the difference. Look at this apple tree, it's almost getting to the roof. Look at this musao, it's quite huge now. Look at the lemon tree where it is. These were planted at the same time, the lemon tree and the apple. Look at that guava. There is a guava plant here. Look at it. It's not doing well in this climate. So I don't know whether I should remove these or I should keep on trying to grow them. But I know the mulberry will thrive because our neighbor has mulberries and they have been growing quite well. So this is the other garden we have. Again, all this we are really doing it for consumption as a family here at our homestead. But whatever is left behind or some surplus, we take to the market some of the time. So this is our update this week on what is growing in our garden. I will come back here again in 2 weeks time to show you where we will be. I hope by that time there will be a huge improvement.